Kyle Richards' reactions to RHOBH casting concept. Kyle Richards may be a staple of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but she's not exactly rolling out the red carpet for the next generation, especially not when it comes to her daughter, Alexia Umansky. In a recent chat with Briefing on Bravo, the reality star revealed her surprise when Alexia, her second eldest daughter, casually floated the idea of joining the long-running Bravo franchise. Someone brought it up the other day, and she said, "Oh, I could see myself doing that," Richards recalled, "and I thought, excuse me, have you learned nothing from everything I've been through?" Though she laughed about it, Richards made it clear she's not eager to turn Housewives into a full-blown family affair. "I've already had 2 sisters on the show," she said, referencing Kim Richards and Kathy Hilton's headline-making appearances. "Now a daughter? Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one." Over the years, all 4 of Richards' daughters have popped up in episodes of RHOBH, offering viewers glimpses into her life as a mother. But when it comes to making the jump from occasional cameos to holding a diamond full-time, Richards is drawing a firm and very glamorously manicured line. Alexia Umansky hints at Real Housewives ambitions. "I'd love to join someday." Alexia Richards, 28, is gearing up for a major life milestone. She's engaged to her longtime boyfriend, Jake Zingerman, with their wedding set for September 2025 in picturesque Aspen. While Alexia is ready to embrace the role of a wife, her famous mom, Kathy Richards, isn't exactly pushing her toward a new reality TV chapter as a Real Housewife. During a Mother's Day-themed Q&A on Bravo's Briefing, alongside her daughters Alexia, Sophia, and Farrah, a fan threw out a question that sparked some playful banter. Would Alexia ever consider joining the ranks of the Real Housewives after tying the knot? Alexia didn't shy away from the idea. "If they're taking applications, absolutely," she quipped. Kathy, ever the protective mom, chuckled and quickly dismissed the thought. "Yeah, right," she said with a knowing smile. But Alexia wasn't deterred. She admitted how much fun it could be to dive into that world. Reflecting on their previous family reality show, Buying Beverly Hills on Netflix, Kathy asked, "How many times did you cry during filming?" Alexia laughed, recalling, "Just during season 1. I eventually got used to it." Kathy confessed her concerns. "As a mom, I hate seeing you all so stressed. I'm just protective," she explained with warmth. Still, Alexia acknowledged that reality TV has been a valuable experience for her. "Honestly, if anyone's curious, my answer is yes. I'd be open to joining the Real Housewives someday," she revealed with a smile, hinting at exciting possibilities ahead. Kyle Richards' daughters make a splash with their 2-season run on Buying Beverly Hills. Alexia and her sisters, Farrah and Sophia, shared the spotlight with their dad, Mauricio, starring together for 2 seasons on the Netflix reality series Buying Beverly Hills. In a June 2024 interview with Briefing on Bravo, Richards expressed how proud she was to watch her daughters navigate their reality TV journeys. Having experienced the ups and downs on RHOBH herself for years, she admired how they learned from her past while staying authentic. "Seeing them soar and stay true to themselves makes me incredibly proud," Richards said. "I made sure to be there to support them this season. It took some coordination between the 2 networks, but it was worth it," the original RHOBH cast member added. "They've been showing up and making their mark on Bravo for years." Legacy and limits. Kyle Richards' royal reality reckoning. Kyle Richards was no stranger to the spotlight. The polished glamour, the flashing cameras, the catty conversations, and the relentless drama of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had been her life for over a decade. From the very first season, she was a cornerstone of the franchise, the original housewife who managed to balance her family's legacy, friendships, and personal struggles with a grace that many envied. But now, in the spring of 2025, a new chapter was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. one that threatened to blur the lines Kyle had worked so hard to keep intact. Her daughter, Alexia Umansky, at 28, an independent, ambitious woman engaged to Jake Zingerman, had casually dropped a bombshell during a family lunch. "Mom," Alexia had said, her tone light but genuine, "I could see myself doing Real Housewives one day." Kyle nearly choked on her quinoa salad. The notion was as shocking as it was surreal. To Kyle, Housewives wasn't just a TV show. It was a saga she had lived and survived, one that had often exposed her family to scrutiny and relentless gossip. Was Alexia really considering stepping into that turbulent arena? The seed of surprise. Kyle sat in her sprawling Beverly Hills kitchen, the morning sun spilling through the windows onto the marble countertops. The conversation with Alexia played back in her mind like a scene on a loop. "Have you learned nothing from everything I've been through?" Kyle thought, half laughing, half horrified. She imagined the endless tabloids, the social media trolls, the off-camera heartbreaks that accompanied reality TV fame. Yet, she understood something else. Alexia wasn't naive. She had grown up watching RHOBH, and her perspective was shaped not only by the glamour, but also by the grit. And unlike Kyle's early days on the show, when the reality TV world was still an uncharted frontier, Alexia's generation had the advantage of hindsight. Still, Kyle's protective instincts flared. "I've had 2 sisters on the show," Kyle reminded herself, referring to her sisters, Kim Richards and Kathy Hilton, whose own headline-making appearances had been a roller coaster of public fascination and personal turmoil. Now a daughter. No way. That's where I draw the line. The family dynamic. Kyle's home was a hub of constant energy. Her daughters, Farah, Sophia, Alexia, and the youngest, Portia, were a tight-knit unit, with their own lives blossoming alongside their mother's legacy. All had dabbled in television to varying degrees, with Alexia and her sisters recently sharing the spotlight with their father, Mauricio Umansky, on Netflix's Buying Beverly Hills. The show had been a relatively drama-light venture, focused on luxury real estate and family business, rather than personal conflicts and soap opera antics. Kyle had watched with pride as her daughters navigated their own reality journeys, appreciating their authenticity and poise. But the leap from Buying Beverly Hills to Real Housewives was significant. During a recent Mother's Day Q&A on Bravo's briefing, the playful banter among the Richards family illuminated the tensions beneath the surface. When a fan asked if Alexia would ever join RHOBH after her upcoming wedding, Alexia's candid reply, "If they're taking applications, absolutely," was met with a mixture of amusement and concern from her mother and grandmother. Kathy Richards, ever protective, dismissed the idea with a knowing smile, but Kyle's reaction was more complex. The protective matriarch. Kyle was a matriarch who had seen the best and worst of reality television. The cameras brought fame and fortune, but also relentless scrutiny and emotional exhaustion. She had learned this firsthand. Reflecting on her own years on RHOBH, she remembered the public fallouts, the family arguments captured on camera, and the delicate balancing act between being authentic and preserving privacy. "I hate seeing my daughters stressed or hurting," Kyle confided in a rare interview. "I want them to have their own lives without the pressure and heartbreak that comes with being on a show like this." Her protective nature extended beyond just shielding Alexia from potential drama. It was about preserving the family's identity, ensuring that the show didn't consume their relationships or reduce them to caricatures. Alexia's ambitions and Kyle's concerns. Alexia, however, was different from the others. She had already dipped her toes into the spotlight with Buying Beverly Hills, demonstrating a knack for handling cameras and public attention with grace. Engaged to Jake Zingerman, she was preparing for a new chapter in her life, one marked by love, commitment, and a potential future that was still unwritten. Yet, the allure of Real Housewives was strong. In her own interviews and social media posts, Alexia hinted at an interest in joining the franchise, teasing fans with the possibility. Honestly, if anyone's curious, my answer is yes. I'd be open to joining Real Housewives someday, she admitted, sparking a flurry of excitement and speculation. Kyle's reaction was, predictably, a mixture of pride and dread. On one hand, she was proud of her daughter's confidence and independence. On the other, she worried about the emotional toll and the invasive nature of the show. Behind the scenes, negotiations and boundaries. The conversation about Alexia potentially joining RHOBH wasn't just family gossip. It had become a serious topic in the entertainment world. Bravo executives had taken notice of Alexia's charm, sophistication, and existing fan base. Her presence could inject fresh energy into the show, especially as longtime cast members moved on or reduced their screen time. But Kyle held the power of veto, both as a beloved original cast member and a key figure in the franchise's history. She was clear in her stance: no Real Housewives full-time gig for Alexia. "I'm not rolling out the red carpet for my daughter to dive into this world," Kyle told close friends. "There's a reason I've been cautious about turning this into a family business."